My name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All in Gestures Red Line Live. We are doing this every Wednesday evening now, which is part of our feedback session, basically for our All in Gesture workshop. And so our members submit drawings every week, and here we are talking about them. We're going to show you some fun stuff, and that's about it. So we're going to be here for a full hour to look at everybody's work. All right, how's it going? Who's here? Mr. Lucas here, checking that chat. Hey, Lori, I see you in there. Who's over there in Instagrams? Whoa, I got a bunch of people over there. Cool. Well, welcome. Welcome from Instagrams. This is your chance to check out everybody's work, and it's also a Q&A. So if you have a question, please pop it in there. Yeah, we got lots of cool stuff we could talk about. We could talk about animation, concept stuff, Disney stuff, and obviously gesture drawing. All that to say, I'm going to get some drawings up here. We have a bunch of fun drawings to look at tonight, some beautiful stuff. This week we had a great model. Crystal was with us, and she was a beach goth model. And every month we choose a basic theme to work with. And this month is obviously mermaid. And we had a really great mermaid workshop with a mermaid with a tail and the whole thing. But all of our themes every Saturday have been based off of the mermaid prompts this month to help people be inspired for their submissions for mermaid and things like that. So all that to say, last week was Beach Goth, and that was a really fun theme. And Crystal did a great job. And you guys' work was really fun. All right, let's get into it. Okay, here we are. Who's our first victim? Cool. Look at those Instagrams. Checking that out. All right, cool. Yeah, we're good. All right, very good, nice, very nice. All right, so this is Miss Erica Bay. So I highlighted this drawing first because I really liked it. Great job, Erica. Really beautiful lean in that. The only thing I was thinking about it, maybe just, draw through the form there a little bit with the legs instead of just them popping off. Obviously, it's all there. I think your balance is working great and things like that. So I'm not going to be too picky, but I just wanted to highlight it because I loved it. So really nice. Good job. All right, so this one, Erica, I really love that you're using pen. Oh, hey, Heather Worley. I see you over there in Instagrams. I think this is pretty nice. Okay, so I might exaggerate it just a little bit, that lean. And so much with gesture, right? We talk about constantly, and Erica, you're no stranger to this, but we're always wanting to push that pose, right? Push a little bit of drama. And maybe the model was standing like that with their legs apart, right? But it might be nice to do something a little bit different and give that nice lean. In the class, in this pose, she was leaning on a boogie board. Again, it was a beach goth kind of day. So we were at the beach. I know we had some big shapes to work with. We had a big skirt thing and a serape. A lot of cloth flying around this week. Maybe use your prop board there. This is my board here. Maybe use that a little bit and lean it in, almost like you're doing like a shape like an A-frame kind of thing, just to give it a little bit more lean, a little bit of weight. Alrighty. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Really nice though, Erica. What do we got here? This one, I was checking this out, and I was thinking, I think your proportions look great, but maybe you do a little bit something different to get that entertainment thing of. So this is when our model sat down and she was making like a gothic sand castle, which was pretty funny, and so Erica did that. I could tell you did a really fun, spooky castle, but action-wise, and I think the model was doing this, with the arms that were kind of parallel, like everything was just kind of straight, right? But for our drawing, it might be nice to do something a little bit different. And I know I was guilty of this as well with my sketch from the class. but just give some variance. Maybe tilt her shoulders down a little bit, right? You think of that action of a sandcastle, and I actually animated a beach scene in Lilo and Stitch years ago, and made me think of this today. But I animated Nani building a sandcastle in that cute montage in that film during that whole beach sequence, and she did this like pat, 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 and then she leaned in to look at Lilo, who was buried underneath the castle, but just that the arms were kind of staged a little differently. So instead of just parallel like that, it might be cool if you had your castle here. I'll just make a triangle. Checking our chat over here. Eggy Fox, welcome. Looking at our member chat over here. Sarah, thanks for joining us. You're not late. Come on. You're here, man. Sarah's been a member for, gosh, forever. Long time. So those of you who are joining us on Instagram, we're a weekly workshop, gesture drawing workshop. We have a live model and live teaching by this live person right here, and yeah, stuff like that. So it's been great since the last almost 5 years. Anyway, all that to say, Erica, give it a little lean, a little variance, trying to do the even thing. And that's it. But really great stuff this week. I really can see your improvement, because Erica is one of those who draws a lot. So, and I'm a big believer in volume, and if you want to get better, got to draw a lot. You know, just like everything else. You want to be a great instrument, well, you got to play that instrument. You want to be a great singer, you got to work out that instrument, your voice, right? So all that to say, this is our workout. This is where we push poses and try to think of story, and all of that translates for animators, storyboard artists, illustrators. You know, it served me well my whole career, and I fell in love with gesture drawing, and I fell in love with teaching it. So here we are. Anyway, so here we go. This is Mohi. Mohi's a new member. Welcome, welcome. Here we go. So this one, I just want to highlight a few things before I talk about this one, Mohi. You had some really strong drawings this week, and this is the first time I've seen your work, so it's really nice, man. A lot of powerful stuff, a lot of great attitude. I just love this drawing, and I just thought I'd highlight it. Just say, hey, great job. I love that rhythm and arm there. You know, talk about the sandcastle one. There you go. It's a great example. And for all of us, I'd say, but really nice, man. And a lot of really good structure, too, with the legs and everything. So, great stuff. Let's talk about this one. I think you have some nice feeling here, really. There was a plus-size model that we had when I was working at Disney Animation a long time ago, and it was incredible. She was a really big lady, and but an incredible model, and you wouldn't believe it, but she was just light. She had these dainty ankles, and she was so light on her toes, right? And it was just like so feminine, and she just it was incredible. And she was one of my favorite models. And a few of you who might be listening in tonight, I saw one of my buddies I used to work with. He might know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's all that to say, really, really awesome. And with this one, I was thinking, okay, maybe we could push it just a little bit. You know, let's push that daintiness. And I like it. You did exactly what I was thinking. You have the nice dainty shapes of the ankles and things. And I was thinking with this one, this is just a little tweak, man. Like bringing this thing out just a little bit more of a lean, maybe, right? And hips wise, it's tricky because she could be pushing up on her ankle there, but I really do want to mess with that angle a little bit on those hips, because all that weight is going to go on this, what would be her left leg. Yeah. So just kind of pushing that a little bit more. And I love the shapes you did. It's very simple. It's very fast. I love it. But really getting into the skin of your model, of your character, of your action, right? She has her little, I don't need to draw everything, but, you know, I might Do something more like that with the umbrella, since we're looking at her from behind, and if that's like angled back, right? Thinking of that three-dimensional space there. I don't know, let's see. It's like you want to get that feeling of relaxed, right? She's at the beach. She's goth, but whatever. She wants to chill also. And I think I like what you did there with the leg in the front, but I don't know. I think what you did was good. I could tell you crossed the ankles there a little bit. So you may need to follow the form just a little bit if you're going to cross over that ankle. If that makes sense. I think we're looking at her under the foot, and then this one is her right leg. So, and I was thinking maybe trying it a little bit. I think you have her rear end too close to that back arm. And so it looks like she doesn't have much of a torso. So I just kind of stretched everything out like that way in this area. And I kind of opened up this negative space here to get a little bit more of that leany kind of vibe. I like actually what you did with her head very much. It's kind of in between her shoulders, you know, kind of leaning back or whatever. So yeah, looks good. And obviously she had that big floppy hat. That was a cool hat. Those are tough, but fun. Great props, you know. And she had her little goth glasses on. For those of you who are members, you have access to our archives, which is over 200 workshops now. So lots of drawing to get into if you want. And why did I bring that up? Let me think of something. Oh, I was going to say, for you members, get in there. This is in the archive, this model. All right, that's all. Just kind of stretched it out a little bit, proportion-wise, and change that angle of the arms a little bit, opened up that negative space. Great work, dude. Here we go. Zoom. Maria! All right, so Maria submitted some cool stuff. I like this drawing, Maria. We talk about pushing poses, and what Maria did this week, which is super fun, she actually added the mermaids to her gestures and approached the whole, it looks like from what she sent me, she approached the whole class that way. And really, really cool. I was just saying, so much of what we love to do is push the poses, right, to get more life into our drawings. And with gesture, we don't want to just copy the model, okay? We want to be inspired by the model and really get our brain and juices flowing. I'm a big believer that gesture drawing can really help with practicing and working our brain muscles with ideas. And because we're constantly approaching, hopefully every pose, right, as much as we can, quickly, and we're also going, okay, how can I push this pose? Like, what's the idea of this pose? Oh, that inspires me to think of this story or that story, you know. It's like you're acting, right? Anyway, I love this drawing because you were pushing the pose. You were really going for it, and it's really fun. So there you go. That's all I got. All right, let's see. We'll take a look at that one. And that was a quick one, I could tell. That's all right. This one's really pretty. Really bold lines are like your confidence in your line, though. So really nice, Maria. All right, here we go. What is she doing? She has, that might have been that drawing that I did earlier. Their other student. I'm going to kind of go with what you did here. Maybe just define those hips a little bit. I love your line of action. We talk about line of action a lot, right? Even mermaids have structure, right? I might, if you're gonna bang this hip out the way you have it, I might do something opposite, because you're kind of, at this point, you're making up the pose, you know, you're pushing it and you're thinking of your own idea and your own situation. So I might as well go for it. I think you could push just to match what this awesome direction you have going out. I might do the opposite here. opposites are a great tool for us, right? With gesture drawing and, well, drawing. It's a great drawing tool. Opposites really help push dynamic, push weight. If all your angles and stuff are even, it's going to be a little flat looking, or feeling, really. You might be like, why doesn't that drawing have the energy I was hoping for, you know? And it's like, oh, let me see, all these angles are a little flat. You know, you could add twist to your drawing, which I think you kind of already added that a little bit, which is really nice. But anywho, that's all. Very good. Trying not to draw. Looking at my screen there, trying to get our tech better than last week. We're working on it, people. Anyway, yeah, that's all. And you have your umbrella. But yeah, consider opposite angles a little bit. Push it. Love it. And that's it. So great job, Maria. Sarah, there she is. What do we got here? All right, Sarah's got some cool stuff in here. Really solid stuff. Love this drawing. Just wanted to highlight it. Really cool. I remember this pose. She's holding, I think, scuba gear or seaweed. I forget the gag, but you put scuba gear, which is totally fine. She's like, ew, what is this? Scuba gear? Snorkel gear? Whatever. And I just love the straights in your arms. They got a little short. I mean, just watch your proportions a little bit, you know. But I love that straight you did. That's right on, man. Right on. It looks like I drew off screen. I don't care. All right. Love it. Let's see here. This one and this one. This one's pretty good. Some solid stuff, Sarah. Making it hard for me. All right. Oh yeah, okay, this one. So again, our character is beach goth, right? So like, I'm at the beach, but I don't want to get any sun or sand on me. And she was holding her hat and kind of pulling it down. You know, the model was like, ugh, so much sun. Why am I here? Because I'm awesome. I don't know. And so I think I did that. You know what? It's actually behind me. I'll show you what I did real quick. Let's see here. Let's do this. I'll just show you my drawing behind me. This was from class. This was my attempt at it. So I feel like I got a little bit of the pull here in the hat. Like she's pulling her hat down. I think though, and we'll do this on your sketch real quick, and this will help me out. Maybe I'll bring the arms down more. Like she's pulling down more, like meaning, you know, the elbow is maybe a little bit lower, that kind of a thing. Okay? Alrighty. Let's try it. Okay, here we go. Whoop. Okay, here we go. Oh, let me get that chat back on. Hey, Dory, I see you. What's going on? Ah, sorry, I'm checking my chat over here on our member chat here, and Iggy Fox is actually the Mohi. Dude, awesome. All right, let's see here. All right, cool. They're just bantering. This is fun. Okay, so all that to say, pull down motion. Let's get back there. Here we go. Stay with me. So we got the hat thing. What did I do? Oh, okay. I could see. Sorry, I'm gonna keep going here. Sometimes you have to decipher things. Okay. That idea, and I was looking at my sketch and reminded of like she's pulling down. Like sometimes you need to get in the pose, you know, and like get into the character's mind. but you're pulling down and you're like, oh, I just hate this. And Eric, Sarah, your arch of your back, it feels like it's out, like sticking her belly out a little bit, like, which is one way. But I was thinking like maybe we should collapse her a little bit more forward, like she's a little bit hunched over. And let's see, what can we do with the I guess the legs can be okay. If you want to do that, that's fine. I probably would have kept them straight. I think I did keep them straight, kind of, yeah. And maybe we'll bring her head down a little bit more here. And remember, wherever I usually, personally, this is different for, I guess, everybody or lots of artists, whatever. But I usually save the head for last because your head placement really affects the balance of your pose. Like I had that drawing a little, I'll erase it. I had it a little too far back, and it made the drawing just look a little too stiff, So, but dropping the head forward kind of puts the weight forward a little bit, and have those arms really pulling down in the hat. Not my usual approach to a drawing, so it's a little clunky here. Yeah. This is a fun one to kind of figure out because I'm not drawing just pieces and parts, right? I'm trying to draw an attitude. I'm trying to get in the head of the character, okay? And we had a little feedback, our drawing, we call it Feed the Artist. And we did a little insight into Bill Teitla, who is a really famous Disney animator. He animated Chernabog and Stromboli and all these powerful characters, even Grumpy, right, from Snow White. And you could find a great write-up on him on Andreas Deja's blog, The Deja View. And one thing that he said that I think he was quoting another animator was, Bill Teitla would draw from the inside out, okay? Meaning he really get into the character, become that character. And that's been a goal, I would say, of animators ever since, okay? Even the Nine Old Men would talk about the power of his work. So anyway, okay, all that to say, make her grumpy. Because right now she's looking, I know I'm harping on this, Sarah, sorry, I'll let you go. But it's like, right now she looks a little bit fashion-y, You got a nice drawing there. All the pieces and parts are there. It's really pretty. But I think we could push the attitude, push the acting. That's it. Like, don't be afraid to make a bad drawing, Rather draw that acting, okay? Okay, this is Cassie. I don't know if Cassie's with us live here tonight, but she was with us last week. All right. Yeah, I just want to encourage you guys, like, we want to find life in our work, right? We want our drawings to be alive, right? If you're I don't care what you do, like storyboarding, illustration. I come from the animation side, but I do very little animation these days. It's mostly ideas for different, I can't even say, but different projects, but a lot of illustration, a lot of thumbnailing, a lot of posing of characters, but the acting and the posing, it all matters, And if you're drawing just, hey, I'm here, hi, that's kind of boring, but what's the idea? Like, what's going on there? Like, make a gag, make something funny, This is a funny drawing. I think this is I love the expression you got, Cassie, and really nice. Love it. Moving on. Okay. I got that one, we got that one, and that one. All right, this is the other angle. Okay, here we are. Same pose. What? Here we go. Checking that chat on Instagram. Hey, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Talking about drawings and stuff. Pretty good. Appreciate you guys. All right, so obviously it's hot. She's miserable. Put a little sunshine there. Adorable. Same idea. The model might have been doing this. I don't know. I think I like what you did because you made her walk, right? Yeah, I might push that same idea. And what's fun about, our workshop and uh, just drawing in general, like play a little bit. Okay? Get rid of that. I didn't like what I just did there. Like, go ahead and push stuff around. I did it a little bit backwards in my mind. That's why I just erased it. So, I want her leaning forward. That's kind of my thought here. You have her hunched over, which is totally cool. But if she's leaning forward and she's walking like you have her, I want her to lead with her body. Like if she's going to be walking, like, she should walk and really just lead with that body, not lead with the legs. So it's like you would walk forward with the body. So I'm going to lead with the body, lead with the head. So I'm really going to stick that head out there. I like what you did with the hat flipping up. That's cute. All those props can come later. I think I got a little stubby in my proportions. I was going to tell you to do the same, but I got a little bit stubby there. There we go. I don't have the model in front of me, but all that to say, just lean her a little bit forward, lean with that body, or lead with that body, lead with the head, right? Yeah, just a little more oomph. All right, great job, Cassie. Actually, all right, let's go into Lori here. Whew, that is, let's see, can we all see that? I think we can see that pretty good. Good enough, okay. Got a little grayed out there, but I think we could see it enough. Okay, good. All right, let's see here. So kind of similar to the pose we did a little bit earlier. Let's see. I like the lean that you have. But maybe do something like this. Unless she's leaning against like a rock or something, she's going to need to have her arms either vertical, somewhat straight, or going back. Like we were talking about Mohi's drawings or Eggy Fox. And it might be nice just to, even though the model might have her legs down like that, and just for the sake of differentness, is that a word? No. For the sake of doing something different, maybe lift her leg up. One of the legs could be opposite. Just give some variance and stuff, just so it's not too eveny. Not a hard rule. This is just suggestions. Like I'm always trying to do that. Like, and I might switch. You probably see me do it a lot in class. Lori's another one who's been with us for a long, long time, and you've seen me. Like I might just totally change the pose, or at least change an appendage. And a lot of times I do that just to try it out, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. think she had like straight hair. So anyway, all that to say, consider the weight distribution. Okay, got hips here. I know we had that big dress on, but still try to draw a little bit of structure underneath there. Anywho, alrighty. What else we got there? Let's see. That one. That one's a little light. I think I could see it pretty good. I'm going to do a quick tech thing here, guys. We're doing on time. Oh, we're doing good on time. Got lots of kind of clicking through here. This is good. I'm going to bump up the contrast a little bit here, see if I can see it. A little bit. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, here we go. She is sitting down. Kind of like 3/4, it looks like. How are we doing there? Doing pretty good. A quick tech thing here. Shut that off. Okay. All right, so whenever we want to do a seated pose, consider the fleshy part of the bum, right? And whatever surface you're on, I remember she was sitting actually on the edge of our stage, right? And you know, it's like the torso will come down, okay? And then there's going to be that change in direction there. And actually, Mohi did a pretty good job of that, showing that weight change in your previous drawing if you're still here. But anyway, all that to say, a little bit of flatness there against the edge of your surface, if it's a chair or whatever. And you can even have the flesh coming off of the chair. In this case, we'll call it a bench or something. And I know she had a big, poofy, gothy skirt on, which was super fun. But it's good to have that in mind, even if it's being covered by some fabric, because the what do you call that? Like, even though you can't see it, you're drawing that structure and you're giving your drawing a nice solid look. There's a lot of whatchamacallit there, integrity in your drawing when you draw through, okay? What is she doing? Looks like she's holding an umbrella. That's totally fine. And maybe she's looking down at something. It looks like kind of have her head tilted. That's kind of nice. You know, things like that. So, oh, I see it. It's a bird. It's a seagull. It's really cute. That's funny. I like that. Very cute. Caw. It's a rat with wings. Sorry. But anyway. Maybe she's disgusted, or is she happy? I don't know. Or she's indifferent because she's goth. Whatever. This happens all the time to me. I always get seagulls on me every time. Come here. Hate this place. That's supposed to be her hat. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just having fun. We're moving on. No having fun here. Great job, Lori. RW, welcome. RW, yes. This is your first week with us, so welcome. RW's a new member. Thank you for submitting your work. Just kind of rifled through some poses here that you submitted this week. Very nice. Looks like you used I think a pen, right? Ooh, that's nice. I like this one. Very cool. Let's see here. Saw a whatchamacallit, a chat over here on Instagrams. Says if you made clothes, a lot of these would also work. I'm assuming that is meaning fashion design? Yes, it applies. I used to work with a fashion designer at Disney. That was her background, and absolutely beautiful drawings. Teresa Kusada, you can look her up. She's awesome. Okay. What am I doing? Drawing stuff. Okay. I like that. Really nice flow there. This one we just did that seated pose quite a bit, so let's move on. This one was kind of like the hat pull down one. This one, let's see. Oh, I like that lean. Nice job, RW, on that one. All right, let's mess around with this one a little bit. So proportions wise, as far as like just general drawing notes, I think things getting a little small. I feel like she could be a little longer, a little bigger. Let's see here. But with this one, acting wise, idea wise, it's like, oh, she's at the beach, and I don't know what she's picking up there, but it looks like she's kind of going, which is cool because I'm seeing something in your gesture. But now I'm like, I want to push that a little bit, She could be like, can't see my whole body here, I don't think. But I might lean her back a little bit more. Like she's trying to get away from this thing. It could be like flippers or some other beach thing, some other bit of happiness that she doesn't want to be near, or seaweed or something like that, right? And maybe she's getting away, and that arm is just like, get it as far away from me as you can, right? And this one, maybe just pushing your arm movement a little bit. I might bring it close in as an opposites idea. Again, I'm kind of just pushing what you did, all right? Sorry, I'm drawing over your drawing here, but just for the sake of the proportions idea. So halfway, just a general rule for proportion, halfway down is basically the bottom of the crotch, okay? That would be a good halfway point for a general human thing. And she could be maybe, I don't know, I don't mind your head angle so much, but I almost want to turn her profile. She's just looking at the subject here. Like all eyes are, all the attention. You want your viewer to either, you could try different things, but you could either have your viewer go to your expression, like, she's turning away, or she's looking, and you're kind of putting it on display or kind of staging it a little bit more, okay? She's trying to, her body language, again, she's trying to get away from it. And maybe this hand is supporting this disgusted idea, like this feminine kind of hand motion there. And notice one thing, RW, I haven't even drawn the cloth yet, okay? And the reason I bring that up, and this is just a general rule that I like to try to implement, is not that you have to draw everything hard and heavy under the cloth, but I would draw through the form, okay? So like understanding what's going on underneath that giant triangle dress, right? Or whatever cape or whatever's going on with your model. But draw through, get that balance working, get all that structure. It could be lightly indicated, whatever. But then after that, you could add your giant poofy skirt, and the skirt or the fabric of your figure is going to react to the form underneath, okay? And you're going to get a much more believable cloth as well, because you're going to get all these, you know, folds emanating from their source of the waist or whatever, and things like that. So I'm not saying you always have to wait till last to draw the cloth. It's good to indicate some things sometimes to get the power of the pose or something of interest. So, but just, it's one of those things like you're working the muscle in the brain there. Think of that form. All right, that's all I got. Great stuff, dude. Thanks for joining us. This is a very similar idea. I might, it's a very funny, looks like she has a upside down, what is that, a bird by the feet or something, or a fish? That's really funny. Same, I won't go over this one, but it's the same idea. It's like she's trying to get away from it as fast as she can. Yeah, okay, fine, draw a little bit. Really funny though, that's a great idea. And like I said, so much of this stuff is the idea, you know, getting that idea, entertaining your audience, right? Yeah, man, that's what we try to do. Come on. Looks like she's looking around like, help! There's this thing, it's alive. I don't know, I'm gonna go with your idea here with the backing away. That's kind of fun. I don't know. I just, with this one, I think what's bothering me or what I'm thinking is just to take your idea and push it even a little further. Like if she's backing away, she's leading with her butt, right? So the butt's going that way. So much with when you're doing a very action-oriented piece of animation, you want to lead with whatever you want to draw with. What am I trying to say? You want to draw with the thing that's leading the action, okay? In this case, it's the butt. You know, maybe her leg was there and she's planted it. And you have your fish or whatever. Okay? And yeah, she could be looking back at what you have, like, maybe it stinks, like, oh my gosh, you know. So, all that to say, I loved your idea. All I was doing was just pushing it, okay? And yeah, that's what we're doing. Cool deal. All right, we're going to move on here. RW, great work. Thanks for submitting your stuff and getting it out there. You could use a real name anytime. I saw your email. It's very funny. But I think you're in with a good group of people here at All in Gesture. So all good. Let your hair down. All right, here we go. This is really fun. I love how you exaggerated the shapes. This is Erica, right? Erica Skelko. So welcome, Erica. Good to see you here at Redline Live. Erica's also been with us a long time. I love this shape. Really, really cool. You really exaggerated her form. Really, really nice. What do we got here? All right. Oh, you got the cross necklace. Cool. I like the swoopy vibe of the that line of action of that pose on the right there. I'm sorry, the left. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, man. What else we got? Very good. You sent me a bunch, so I haven't had a chance to look at them all yet. That's cute. Let's see. Let's see. This one. This one got a little flat. I know it's kind of light here, but we're gonna just go for it. Let's see. I think this is the one where she's kind of holding her dress a little bit. And your angles, let's see, can I draw on the side here? I think so. So shoulders, like shoulders, hips, and to the feet to some extent, and even the dress. Everything is kind of stacking, kind of even, and yet you have a nice angle on the face there. But just to give it a little weight, one way or the other, maybe choose a hip. I think in one of our earlier drawings we did with, I forget who that was at the top of the hour there, or bottom of the hour. What do you call it? Anyway, uh, the hip was on the left. What was it? Yeah, left hip had the weight. So maybe we could do something different just for the sake of it. It's like pick a direction, you know, and just kind of go with it. You know, and it doesn't have to be boom, like big giant angles every time. There's obviously a wonderful place for subtlety in our acting. We've had some themes in our even in our class, right, where then we did Mary Poppins a couple of summers ago or something, and it called for subtlety, you know, but there's still some interest there. You don't want to go flat, so. Let's see, maybe I shouldn't have done that arm back. Probably should have kept it like you did. Just gonna scribble that because I want to keep the head where you had it there. I was gonna twist her body, but I changed my mind there. But all that to say, you have some angle going up this way because of the weight of her leg, and then a little bit the shoulder dipping the opposite way. Okay, so depending on your decision that you make for weight distribution, just keep in mind how it affects the rest of the form, okay? All right, cool. That's all I got. Erica, nice stuff. We got Dory, and I think we got Luke left. So we're going to do these quickly because it's almost the top of our hour here. Oh, that was from a while ago. We did the, oh my gosh, Lo-Fi Girl theme. I remember this one. Very cool. And this one, let's see. You got all the details in there. Proportions are looking good, Dory. Yeah. How are we doing here? All right. Which one was this? I'm trying to think what class this was. Anyway, looks like she's disgusted. Her tongue is sticking out. Gosh, I'm just going to start noodling here. There's something I'm not believing. Let's see. I don't know if she's pushing somebody away, like, get away from me. You're gross. As if. Drawing over your drawing here. I like how far you pushed her head. That's very cool. I think I'm drawing over my talking head there. Sorry, dude. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Okay. I'm digging it. But there's something I want to change. It's like, okay, so if I were to be like, get away from me, you know? I almost feel like there should be a twist somewhere just to get that action across. So I could either twist the bottom half and go with the energy of the arm push and keep your head the way you have it. It's like I want to choose an action. You kind of have a leg out, an arm out. I like the opposites thing you got. At least they're not the same side. That's good. I'm going to keep what you did. Yeah, I think that's it for me. I think I just want to push that twist just to give it some variance because, yeah, maybe the model wasn't doing that. I don't know. I can't remember. But I dig it, man. Kind of got me on that one. It's good. Got some good energy in there. Yeah, so this side I'm going to keep what you did. As far as the bottom half coming at us, then maybe twisting it out. I was trying to think like energy of pushing You're gonna get a little bit of twist there. Yeah, that's all. All right, Mr. Luke, what you got there? All right. I don't know, kind of a simple pose. I think the balance is good. You kind of have this feminine leg bent knee thing a little bit, which is cool. It looks like she's kind of happily greeting somebody. This is our happy goth. It cannot be so. Let's see here. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. I'm gonna lose our frame here. Drawing the shapes, nice simple shapes. Yeah, man. So it's hard to tell, and I don't mind the arm sticking out like you have it, but this is just a little thing. I might do something a little different, and I know the model might have been holding, this is supposed to be the boogie board. The model might have been holding it like that, but I feel like we need to do something a little different just to make it read a little bit. What can we do here? I think we were messing around with the idea that a shark, bring it up here, like she's holding it like this, you know? Just so, because if I were to shade this all in, don't worry, I'm not scribbling on your actual drawing. It might look like she got shot with a torpedo or something else is going on, but one of those things, it's like, if this is supposed to be a boogie, maybe bring the boogie out, and maybe, you know, if there's, looks like you have a little, oh no, it says surf, I got it. Well, I'm gonna go with the shark attack thing. It's like, whoa, cool. Shark attack. But all that to say, really making your gag read, and sometimes you have to make those adjustments, okay, to props or different things, you know, and if you have an idea, it's like up to us as artists, right, to push that idea. So, let's say, that's it. Wouldn't a boogie board be slightly heavy, though? That is a good question, Luke. No. They're actually pretty light. They're foam. So that's why I brought it up like that. Surfboards, yes, that might be a little bit of a stretch, depending on the size of the board. But that's a very good question. And that's great, because that's really good. That's the stuff you got to do, man. So I love the question, because it's like, well, what's the weight of this thing? So I already know the boogie board's lighted because it's made out of foam. And it's like, but you're right, if it was heavy, you know, you might do something completely different. So that's great to ask those questions, like, what is this? What is she thinking? What is this thing made out of? What's the material? You got to know all those things. Even like hairstyles. Is her hair wet? Is it heavy and sagging down? Does she have a really poofy, curly hairstyle? Is it light and fluffy? You know, that will affect your choices of gravity. So that's a great question, man. All right. Good stuff. Well, guess what? It's the top of the hour. We're out of here. Go to bed. Brush your teeth. For those of you in California, have a good dinner. For those of you overseas, go to sleep. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us here at Redline Live. We will see you next week at same time, same bat channel. And yeah, if you'd like to join us for our workshop, you can go to my link. For those of you on Instagram, you can go to my bio and check out All in Gesture on my site. It's good stuff. Oh, themes. This coming weekend, we have another mermaid-inspired theme. It's called, what are we doing? Memory. I couldn't remember memory. That's awesome. But yeah, and so we picked a couple fun theme ideas for that to inspire memory and things like that. So I won't tell you what it is, so you have to come. But that's it. All right, Sarah, I see you in that chat. Dory, thanks for coming. Thank you guys for submitting your drawings. We'll see you this weekend. And thank you, Instagrams and YouTube, for joining in today. And that is it. Yeah, anything else? I think that's all I got to say. Guys, have a great weekend. Take your sketchbook with you. Go out and draw in the wild. Get some drawing in. And we'll see you next time.